Welcome to the Dog Chug. Roger, Russ, how's it going tonight?
I'm doing pretty good.
Go ahead, Ron.
Yeah, I got a surprise. Someone got me these. Have you ever had a National Bohemian from the Baltimore region?
No.
This is like their go-to cheap beer, but it's actually really good for being cheap. It's a Bohemian Pilsner, but they got it for me to celebrate the Ravens' demise. So I was going to drink to Baltimore and them having a terrible football team.
Nice.
But if you're ever in Baltimore, get one of these. They sell them in like 30 racks. They're pretty cheap, but they're really good. They call them Natty Bows.
Wow. You got to check that out.
Nice. I picked up. You know what, man? Today was one. Andy used to always ask me, Roger, how you doing? And I'd be like, oh, I'm great, Andy. And you called me. I wish I had this day, the day I made up a fake story. Because today I was in a shoot that Ken Carmen couldn't be in, man. I was living today, and I'm better, but driving home, man, road construction, Route 8. Route 8, man. We have from Macedonia all the way to Akron. It's a disaster. It's a nightmare. Fuck Route 8. But construction workers, we have like this code. We let each other in. You know, I want to live in a world of zipper merging, you know, but we can't because people drive like idiots. And you can't zipper merge. So this guy's in front of me, and he's driving a pickup truck, and he cuts me off, and I'm doing 55, and he sped up and cut me off, and I was livid. I'm listening to the ball game. That's going to shit. I got this guy who's driving a pickup truck. He had rat traps in the back. He was like chasing varmints in people's yards, and so I had a bad day, you know. And then the Indians lost, the Guardians. And so I had a crummy day. Up until my son's football tonight, and then now we got Dog Chug. So I had to get that off my chest.
Wow. Sounds like you had a crappy evening. Like, what about
the
rest of the day?
Yeah, from like 3:30 on, you know, when I got on, yeah.
All right. Well, don't cut Roger off because you're going to blow his entire day.
I had a vent.
All right. It's fascinating.
So, Andy, you didn't throw a can there like your normal intro. What's going on? That better not be water.
Oh, it's water.
Oh, really?
We do things a little differently. We actually celebrate Lent 6 weeks after Easter. So I have given up alcohol for Lent this year. But I am drinking on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. So it makes it a little bit easier. But unfortunately, not tonight.
Well, that's not that easy. You got to get through the show.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
It is a good point. And we got to get through Roger's story about getting cut off. That was just crazy.
It was just a bad day, man. I wanted to share it with you guys.
I feel like every time I drive, someone cuts me off, which probably means I'm a bad driver.
It isn't just you got a code with construction workers. We look out for each other. You let the guy in. It's a code.
If the Guardians/Indians had won the game, would you have had a great evening?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Let's say the Guardians won the game. Then would you be okay? Would you?
Yeah, I would have forgot all about that idiot. Probably. Yeah, sure. I definitely would. If Rosario gets a hit, I forget all about the exterminator in the van.
Can you imagine what would happen to that poor man if Chuck was driving your car when the Guardians lost?
Yeah, that would have been the end of that guy if Chuck was driving. I thought about Chuck as this was going on, actually.
Wow.
Yeah. I was ready to road rage him.
I was gonna say, Chuck. It when it comes to the 13th game of the season, that's probably when he's at his most emotional. Like like most normal fans. 13th game of the season, everything is down the shitter. No hope.
You imagine Chuck in the fast lane of Route 8 with Rosario at bat, bases loaded against the Yankees.
I wouldn't drive on the same highway as him.
Hey, Roger, it broke my heart. It broke my heart, Roger.
If anyone's not familiar with Chuck, he's very obsessed with his Guardians baseball.
Yeah.
Anyway, why don't we move on to the Dog Chug update where we give everyone the news of what's going on. But first, I think we got someone that wanted to hijack.
I'm sorry?
Well, we're going to start with something a little different this time. I think.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I never start. Carry on.
I'm sorry for everyone that we might have had this person on a lot lately. A lot of you are probably going to jump off as soon as you see him. But don't worry, we probably won't have him on for a long time after this one. Welcome to the Dog Chug, Ed.
Oh,
what's up, guys?
Whoa.
That's right. This is Ed in Columbus with your Dog Chug update. Breaking news. The Tay-Tay universe is all the buzz since the reports came out about the apparent split between Taylor Swift and now ex-boyfriend Joe Alwyn. Don't worry, I'm not going to make a ringless joke about Taylor being like the Guardians because the goodness sakes, their name is the Guardians. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. Go Tribe. And also, the Cavs are gearing up for their first playoff series since LeBron James left. It would be nice to finally have a guy that doesn't have to score 40 for the Cavs to win. 71 ought to do it. And finally, Greg Newsom has spoken out about the trade rumor and said there is zero truth to it. Absolutely zero. Like the number of interceptions he has in 2 seasons in the NFL after being a first-round pick. This is Ed in Columbus with your Dog Chug update. Breaking news.
Recycling your own tweets. That's great. Thank you
Huge.
for the original content on the Dog Chug.
Thank you.
Thanks.
How did that interceptions tweet do?
Not really well. Actually, somebody actually came after me and said, well, if you look at all his other stats, he's a good cornerback. And I being the consummate professional that I am, shot back at him and said, I just like to have a little fun. I love the Browns. It's just like my kids. If you can't joke around about that. Not only that, we made up. It was huge. We're cool. So shout out to Mobley fourth season for Mobley. So shout out to you.
So wait, you took a tweet that didn't do particularly well and you decided this is the one that has to go on the Dog Chug tonight.
I thought it was most appropriate for the show. Absolutely. I did.
All right. Well done.
Thank you.
And now let's move back onto the – now that you've hit a lull, we're going to bring you back up.
We can only go up from here. Only go up.
Perion Winfrey's status on the Browns was impacted negatively after it was revealed he was charged with misdemeanor assault for allegedly causing bodily harm to a woman he was dating. Following a meeting with team officials, Winfrey expressed frustration that he was getting crucified over a minor issue because the Browns don't care about defensive tackle. Team officials clarified they sent significant money because they recognized how crucial upgrading the position was. Winfrey then griped that if he was being paid and guaranteed money, this would be overlooked, and officials responded that actually almost half your contract is guaranteed, so try again. Finally, Perion said, look, I know what it is. You don't like me because I'm a person of cut. To which AB interrupted and said, do you honestly want to know the reason I'm so eager to kick you off this team? Yeah. It's simple. Your performance on the field sucks, almost as bad as my performance drafting you in the 4th fucking round, you bum. Now get the fuck out of my office and go bark at Starbucks.
Whoa. You'd be good at barking at Starbucks. All right. The Ravens recently announced the signing of Odell Beckham Jr., which they see as a strategic move to reinforce their commitment to the passing game and potentially attract Lamar Jackson back to the negotiating table. Todd Monken, their offensive coordinator, had this to say. We liked the work ethic in Cleveland. Look, Todd, I know during your time here under Freddie Kitchens, it didn't look like anybody was working. So maybe in comparisons, OBJ's efforts was decent. But this is a guy that's faced multiple criticism in his past for communication issues with his quarterback. He's always absent from off-season activities. And he got his dad to do his dirty work. Now, let's say he has a great work ethic. He's got a quarterback known for not being able to get the ball out who might not be there without an established backup. So wishing Todd and the Ravens success in the future because it sure sounds like the Baltimore Ravens are on life support and it's just a matter of time before the organs crap out.
Well, more Ravens news. This might as well be the Ravens Sip podcast. The Ravens Lamar Jackson impasse continues with no end in sight. And while many wonder why the Ravens won't just pay up, the Dog Chug has broken the exclusive story. Ravens owner Steve Busciotti unfortunately cannot afford to put money into escrow for the signing bonus because he has lost his fortunes betting the Network 216 guards bet of the day. But if you want to lose money, you should lose money with the BetJack app. There's tons of promos, tons of boosted odds. You should definitely hop on that as soon as you can. So if you lose, you won't lose too much, and when you win a whole lot.
Wow. Poor Steve the Shot. He had like billions of dollars and he lost it all betting on Guardians games. But I do have to say, I think Network 2 and 6 did win one of those parlays. So, I mean, come on, they're due. Anyway, that was fun.
Yeah, that's back-to-back weeks of some break-ed news.
Yeah.
It's a lot going on in the land. Gotta break.
You know what? On Ed's,
You wouldn't know because you live in Columbus, you traitor.
on Ed's tweet, I was going to go after him, and then I Googled his PFF grade, and then I had to Google what an actual good PFF grade is because I don't fucking know. And then I realized that I couldn't go after Ed because it's like 69, and that's like 80's like good. Apparently, I didn't check with Jacob or anybody, but that's what I Googled. And I couldn't go after it because he's kind of right.
Yeah, Roger, behind the curtain a little bit, Roger in one of our chats or whatever was going to come after me. And, well, when he did his homework, then my joke wasn't exactly so, hurtful. And
He needs
like
to
I
pick
said,
it up.
Yeah, he does need to pick it up.
I hope it was Joe Woods that was causing the problem.
I mean, 0 interceptions and everything. Okay, we can make jokes about that. He's a cornerback in the first round. He's supposed to at least make 1 interception.
Ooh,
but then when Roger did some in-depth dog chug analysis and he has a 69 PFF grade, come on.
Yeah.
All right. Jeff suggests if you want to win money, bet the opposite of the 216 bet of the day. I wish I had thought of that. Anyway,
Jeff.
those bets are fun. All right. We're going to have a little bit of fun here in honor of the great Brad Stanbrook on the great OBR. He put out some information that Greg Newsome was going to ask for a trade or asking for a trade. And it turned out about 2 minutes later, every beat reporter for the Browns said that's absolutely not true. He had kind of a bad day. We all have bad days. I mean, Roger got cut off. But I thought we could have some fun in honor of Brad. And we're going to play a game. I'm actually going to play with the three of you. I'm going to come up with some sports hoaxes, and you guys can see if you can get the answers correct.
All right.
I think I got 5 here. Now, the first one's pretty easy. Who was the college athlete who was reported his girlfriend had died days after his grandmother, but was later revealed to be a complex catfish hoax?
Monte Teo.
That is correct.
Couldn't say it fast enough.
Yeah.
The Notre Dame guy,
And we have
figures.
so we have 5 questions. Ed, if you get 6 out of 5 right, you can come back on next week.
Fair enough. That's mathematically possible, I believe.
I think it's fair.
Are Roger and I supposed to guess it before him?
Yeah, you can all help out. Okay.
Well, I won't jump in so quick. I'll let you. I didn't know how you were doing it, so I just.
So in 1985, Sports Illustrated published an article about a baseball player that can throw a ball 168 miles per hour. And this was later revealed to be an April Fool's joke. Sure. What was the name of this made-up player?
Wow. 1985?
1985. We were all in the prime of our life.
I remember the Bears Super Bowl cover at Sports Illustrated. It's the only thing I remember about Sports Illustrated.
It wasn't Paul Bird or Mike or Tomlin, was it?
It's not, it was Sid Finch. Obviously.
Oh, Sid. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Ed, you're blowing your chance to come on next week.
Wow.
All right, since you did so well, we're going to stay in 1985. There were rumors the New York Knicks froze their envelope in the NBA draft in order to ensure that it would be the first one taken. Now, the NBA claimed this was a hoax, but which player did the New York Knicks take?
Patrick Ewing. Final answer.
Could you give the other guys a chance? I mean,
Well, I want because I got to get 6 out of 5. I'm just too jumpy right here.
All right, somebody.
All right, I'll let this one go. Because now I feel like it's mathematically possible. I got one wrong. I still think 6 out of 5 is possible. So let's do this.
Well, let's go. Maybe you can get it done.
6 out of 5.
All right. In the 2008 finals, NBA finals, a Boston Celtics player was shown leaving the game in a wheelchair. But then he returned shortly after and dominated. Who was this player?
Paul Pierce.
Yep.
Is correct. It was so hard for Ed to not win.
No, I'm a team player here. Come on.
All right. We got one more. See if we can get this one. This one you might get bonus points. All right. In 2023, a local podcast claimed they had 78,000 live viewers and were officially the biggest sports/comedy podcast in the world. Name that podcast.
Rover? No.
You wanna,
What year was it? You said
in 2023.
Oh, 2023. The dog chug.
It is the dog chug. I claimed that.
Oh, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
You almost missed that.
Yeah.
All right, and that is the host
You
game.
forgot, yeah, because he had to guess because he doesn't watch the dog chugging when he's not on it. You know this.
Yep.
That is true.
That is the hoax game. Heart goes out to Brad. I know he probably got some bad information there, and he's a good dude, even though a lot of people like to rag on him. So there you go. That is the hoax game. Well done, guys.
Well done, Andy.
Thank you.
Yeah, very good.
We're trying to get back to having fun games every week. People said they like that the best. All right, but now we're going to move right along to our favorite bit, Spit, Sip, Chug.
Whoa.
You guys excited?
It's the game that's not lame that I named. So I love sip, spit, chug.
Sip, spit, chug.
Oh man.
I got I did get it wrong, the name of it one time during an episode. So yeah, Ross, if you want to correct me or proofread my writing.
You slip back down to every other week.
Well, Roger likes, what is it? Sip, sip, sip. Is that the name of it, Roger?
That is correct.
Yeah.
He does like sip, sip, sip. All right, so we're going to make, we have 4 statements today. If you agree with it, you're going to chug. If you disagree, you're going to spit. And if you're somewhere in the middle, you're going to do like Roger and sip. So statement number 1, we're going to start with Roger. On Saturday, whoever wins game 1 between the Cavs and the Knicks wins the series.
I'm gonna sip. I don't think the winner of that game is going to determine the series. I think it's going to go 6 games, easy. Probably go to 7-game series, right? They do. I remember
Yeah, 7.
But yeah, I think it's going to go all 7. I don't think that's necessarily going to, who wins that game can determine it. We've seen teams go 3-1, and people 3-0 and come back from that. So
that is true. Ed.
I am going to do a Roger and sip.
Sip. And Losandro knows too.
Yeah, she does. Shout out to her. Yeah, she chugs on everything she says. The only thing I'm going to say is that it kind of reminds me of the Bulls series against LeBron and Dellavedova and everything. I think that as long as the Cavs can go 1-1 in Cleveland the first 2, split the 2 in New York, games 3 and 4, make it a best of 3 series. I do think it's going to go 7 games. I think the Cavs will win game 7 with the home court at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. I think they'll win convincingly by 20-some points, but it'll be a highly contested series up until that point. But 1-1, 1-1, and then best of 3. And I think the Cavs get it done because they do have the home court in 7.
Okay.
Oh man, I'm gonna spit. No, I don't think you got to win game 1 with this series. Both teams, they got a lot of young players. They're going to be a little rusty game 1, so I think they're all going to get better as the series goes on. So I think this, obviously winning game 1 is more important for the Cavs because they're at home, but I don't think it's going to determine the series. Winning game 1 for the Knicks would be way, way bigger for them than us, but just anytime you can take one on the road is always a bigger deal. But you got to take the home games for granted too. So I don't know. That's why I'm spitting. It's not going to determine the whole series, especially if it goes 6 or 7 games.
All right.
Like I'm guessing this is going to go.
For me on this one, we got into that play-in series last time and we lost both games. This is a very young team. They do kind of play emotionally sometimes. I feel like if they lose game 1, that is going to be a big, big deficit to crawl back from. So I'm actually going to chug on this one. I think whoever wins the first game is going to win the series. Hope it's our Cavs.
You can get water poisoning, so don't chug too much water.
Thank you, Ed.
Thank you.
Let's move on to statement number 2. Ed, we're going to start with you. Greg Newsome will have a better season than Martin Emerson for the Cleveland Browns in 2023.
You know what? I banged on him in Breakhead News. I'm gonna chug because I think he's gonna have to for this season defensively to be what we want it to be. I think Emerson in his second year could have a sophomore slump a little bit. we expect a lot from him because of his rookie year, but we shouldn't really expect a lot from him because it is, he was only a rookie last year and he played better than what we thought. So I think with Denzel and his ouchiness and his inability sometimes to see the field, Newsome being the star that he should be after being a first-round pick, I think he actually will get an interception, and that's why I'm chugging on it because I do think that he will, and he needs to.
All right, Ross.
Yeah, I'm gonna sip on it.
Pulling a Roger.
Or Roger it, whatever we call it now. I think that meeting they had, whatever day that was this week, was that Monday? I think they were discussing what his role is going to be, and I think he's going to have an important role. I mean, if he wasn't going to have an important role, then he would have left, and that whatever Mr. Stainbrook reported probably was true. It's just a matter of how that meeting went. So I think he's going to have a big enough role where he can showcase himself, whatever spot of the defense he's going to play, slaughter cover, I don't know. But I think he's gonna be a starter, and when you're a starter, you always have a chance to do better than someone else, whether he's having the same position as Emerson. So, I mean, I was leaning towards Spit a little bit, but I just can't predict it because he's gonna be a starter, I think. So I'm trying to be optimistic and not Spit because I want him to be good because that means the Browns will be doing better.
All right. Yeah, I think Greg Newsome had a sophomore slump this year. He's probably going to play a lot better. Plus, his usage is going to be significantly better, substantially. Now, saying that, I love Martin Emerson. I love the way he plays. I love having a physical corner. My one major concern for him, though, is he was very handsy last season, and I don't think the refs called it a lot. I saw a lot of replays where I was like, ooh, that could have been called. I'm a little worried that Martin Emerson's going to be the guy that gets called for like 15 fouls, and we're all going to be complaining on Twitter. So for all those reasons combined, I do think Greg Newsome is going to have a better season, although I love both players and go Browns.
I'm genuinely sipping on it.
You generally do that a lot.
Genuinely. First of all, with Newsome, he's a first round pick. I expect him to have a better year than what he did last year. But on the other hand, man, I read a story, it's probably Mary Kay, about this kid's life, junior college, and there was a pro cornerback that's from his hometown that kind of took him under his wing. Then he went to Mississippi State or something, right? Mississippi. Yeah, and just like his story is phenomenal. I've been rooting for him since they drafted him, and I read that story. I really want to see him succeed. So, I'm sipping on it. I hope they both do awesome. So how about that?
Sounds good. All right, Ross, OBJ will have 1,000 yards receiving for the Baltimore Ravens this year.
Yeah.
I mean, since this is the Ravens spit, that's the podcast we're doing. We're just shitting on the Ravens today, so let's just keep it going. He's going to suck. I mean, he's coming off 2 torn ACLs. I can't believe he got the money he got. The last time he was elite was with New York when he was way younger. I mean, way younger, what, 3 years ago? Not crazy long ago, but no, it's not going to happen. And F the Ravens. But I do want a little bit of beer.
Nice. This move makes, not a lot of sense for all the reasons you gave and have been made. I had my tweet about them having their funeral. But I do think, kind of like he was with the Cleveland Browns. He wasn't dominant his first year in 2019, but he did have over 1,000 yards. I kind of see that kind of year for him. Plus, the Baltimore Ravens don't really have anyone to throw to, right? So I would expect him to have a lot of targets. As long as he stays healthy, which is a big if, I think he will have 1,000 yards. So I am going to chug on this one too. Whoa.
We all know how I feel about our friend.
He's a bum.
This is the greatest thing that can happen in that locker room. I'm ecstatic. I am so happy for him. I hope he gets 1,000 yards and they win 8 games. God bless you. He won't make the 3rd game of the season. He'll be on the IR. He'll be complaining and bitching and just standing around on the sidelines with that stupid look on his face. Man, it's the greatest thing that can happen to Baltimore. I love it.
Well,
You think that was harsh?
No. It's Baltimore. You can never be too harsh. I don't know. I'm going to spit. He's not, but I want to sip because I really want to just take a drink. But he's going to tear his ACL again. Who cares? But the thing about it is no matter what happens, he got $15 million guaranteed from the Ravens. So he's laughing at everybody because that's were they outbidding themselves? I know there were some teams interested, but I can't think there are too many teams that would be willing to give him at least $15 million guaranteed. So thank you, Steve Bisciotti, for overpaying for a guy that's probably going to give you 2 games and maybe come get me by week 6 if he's still playing. So it'll be fun to watch the shit show in Baltimore instead of in Cleveland.
Yeah.
I can't wait till someone's dad posts a video, right? All right, statement number 4. I'm going to go first on this one. Perion Winfrey should be cut from the Cleveland Browns. I am not a very big Perion fan. Sorry, Sherry. I don't have a lot of hopes that he's going to blossom into a great player on the Cleveland Browns. I think he's going to be extremely low on the depth chart. Maybe he'll even be like a guy that is on our practice squad. Probably not, though. But yeah, I don't think he should be cut. We don't know all the details. I'm just going to calm down and wait to see how this plays out. So I'm spitting.
I'm gonna sip. I got the hot madness from. I think I'm gonna open a 9% that they just came.
Oh, is that the variety pack?
Yeah, man. I got the
hot
madness. Look at that.
I got it for Easter. It's already gone.
Oh, really? I'm gonna try the 9%. I think we're gonna go 9%. I'm gonna sip on it because the first I heard of it, I was otherwise occupied tonight with football and all kinds of stuff. Was reading as I read the Dog Chug update. I was reading and learning as I went. So as far as I know, Andrew Berry already threw him out of his fucking office. So I really haven't read about it. I don't know what happened, but from what I read, sounds like he's in a lot of trouble. And if this is true, then the Browns should move on from him. Yeah, he's been trouble last year, and if this is more trouble. This is involved with the woman, and yeah, you can't. This guy just isn't getting it.
All right, Ed.
He went to Oklahoma, didn't he? Get rid of him. Tired of Oklahoma. Bye. Bye.
So I assume that's a spit then.
That's a spit, but I want to take a sip, but it's a figurative spit, literal sip.
Wow, you are so confusing. I'm so glad we're not having you on next week.
Thank you.
He lost his chug pass.
Yes.
Oh, I'm already up. I'm going to chug on this. So it's one thing to deal with the guy that has their first incident off the field, but, he had his issues last year. And to have to deal with that kind of baggage and, obviously we'll let the legal process figure itself out like we do with every player on the Browns. Right. But this kind of accusation you don't mess around with. And,
right.
You unfortunately in sports, the only time you let things play out and mess around with it is if you have proven talent and you need them to help your team. And right now he's not helping our team. He was a not super late pick, but a later pick. We'll be fine if we get rid of him. As much as we want to have defensive tackles on the roster, It's just not worth it. It's not worth the risk. It's not worth the publicity. This is not the good any press is good press situation. This is I don't want to hear about this damn guy unless he's playing football.
Right.
All right. So Ross says go bark in a Starbucks. I like it.
Yeah.
See, in my defense, the only news I had was Dog Chug update, and I, of course, I believe every word that we put out there. So I had to let it, sink in, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, now we're going to have some fun. I'm really excited about this next bit. But before we do, we're going to have to bring our good friend Sherry onto the Dog Chug. Uh-oh. Sherry, welcome to the Dog Chug.
Welcome.
Uh-oh.
Good evening.
Well done on your picture of your dog with the beer.
Yeah.
Not just any dog. That is Chippy Chubb, who has quite a large following.
Hey, that's like our what's the dog for the Browns? That's our mascot.
Swagger Jr.
Yeah.
But Chip has way more personality than Swagger Jr. I'm just saying.
He just kind of sits around, don't he?
Yep.
Not really there in the world.
Are you crapping on the Browns dog?
No, I'm just saying mine's better.
All right, fair enough. Well, it's a good thing you're able to judge which is better or not, because we're gonna have a little bit of fun. Roger and Ed both wrote articles this week, and the three of us are going to judge. We're calling this to find out, who is the better writer between Roger and Ed, but I like to think of it as who is the shittier writer. So let's find out.
Ouch.
Yeah,
Let's go
we like
shittier.
to have a lot of fun here, and yeah, one of these guys is going to be declared the shittier writer on the dog.
Also, Andy, I think it's good that we're showing the audience that people on the dog chug can actually read. So I think this is good for everyone.
Yeah, that's a good point. Ed, why don't we start with you? Why don't you describe the article that you wrote? Now, the one we evaluated was your one that had more to do with Easter.
Yeah, I wrote a piece. I like to write editorials. Imagine that, editorials. I little play on words there. But I did an Easter one, and it was an egg-atorial. And we kind of discussed it last week on the Dog Chug, where I basically was posing the question. I can't even speak, but I can write, and you guys will see that clearly. That, if you had eggs in a basket, you had to put all your eggs in a basket, which of the three young Cleveland teams, the Guardians, the Cavaliers, or the Browns, would you put all your eggs in a basket? A little play on Easter right there. So I wrote a piece in which I described the situations of each team, and I gave my opinion, which was the Guardians because of Tito Francona.
All right. Roger, why don't you share with the audience what your article is about?
I think the one I gave you was the one I just was out this week about Tito, about going 500 on the road and winning at home is the key to getting to October baseball, and that's just blatantly obvious. See, at the end of every article, I have a tribute to Ross, and I end every article with, "But what do I know?" Because I could talk in circles and lead you down paths and tell stories about Star Trek and baseball cards, and in the end, what the hell do I really know? But that's an obvious point that if you win, and last year they were 11 games over 500 on the road and at home with an equal record. And I expect that same thing. And with Tito, we've done it 7 out of 10 times. The 10 years that he's been here, we've done that, and that gets you into the postseasons. Other than the one year, I think Minnesota won 101. They couldn't lose no matter what happened. I think we won 94. 2007, I forget what year it was, but man, you read a lot when you do this. You learn a lot as you go. But what do I know? It's my tribute to Ross. In the end, what the hell do I know?
All right. These are two exceptional articles. I encourage our audience to go out and check them out. But before you do that, we're gonna evaluate them. We're gonna tell you what we think. So, Sherry, you are the judge.
Thank you. Wait, let me show you. So we doing Ed first, then Roger?
Why don't you tell us what maybe some things that you liked about Ed's article?
Okay. I have a lot of notes.
She's got notes.
Whoa, that's longer than my article. That's longer than the article.
I know. Well, you asked me.
The mad scientist with her notebooks.
Yeah, she's a scientist. She's very analytical,
Wow.
so there's probably a formula for her score.
Exactly, like Roger was trying to get to. Anyway, Ed's article was very, don't be insulted by the word I'm using, cute.
Thank you.
It was cute. It was an easy read, a quick read. What else? It was positive. I mean, it was fun and light and easy. You're not going to get
I'm not smarter than a fifth grader, so I thought it would play well to my.
Yeah,
audience.
no, I mean, a fifth grader could read it and enjoy it and, be engaged with all the language. So it's an article for K through 12. Let's see. I mean, I have a lot of notes, as you saw.
Yeah.
So what else do you want me to hit on? One of my favorite lines in the article is, I'm quoting it, I'm thinking specifically with eggs, which is hilarious if you took it out of context, because what the hell does that mean?
I still trying to figure it out, and I wrote it.
Yeah, exactly.
Ed
And
probably
I
did
get
it like
slightly
4 times.
negative.
Well, hold on. We'll come
Just
back to
positive
it.
first. Positive
Yeah.
first. Okay.
Ross, do you have anything positive to say about Ed's article? And
I mean, it's just like it. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, he's got his puns. He used egg. I liked eggatorial.
Yeah.
I mean, the title got me, and that's what you got. You got to get the clicks.
Yeah.
And if you're going to talk about title, I think Ed's title definitely had people going like, "Wait a second, this terrible pun is awesome. I'm going to click it."
Hell yeah.
Yeah, way to open with a dad joke. Well done.
Hell yes.
Thank me.
Egg in Columbus.
If there's a bad pun out there, Ed's gonna find it.
All day.
All right. Anything else that you want to
Did
point
you
out?
read it, Ross, besides the title?
Yes, I did. That's why I didn't have anything positive to say.
Well, okay, now I believe him now. I do believe him now.
I don't even.
All right. So for what I took away, I think it was a unique angle of an article, which I appreciated. When you were talking about the Guardians, a lot of enthusiasm came off. I'm not even drinking. Hell. Yeah, you could tell that you were really passionate about them and Tito. I also loved your pun use of excellent at the end of the article. That was great. So all in all, I had some good things to say. Now let's get to the bad. Sherry.
Okay, let me stretch. Okay, here we go. My dear Ed,
Yes.
language
Language.
and words are extremely important, and they all have meaning.
Yes.
Easter is a specific holiday that is celebrated by a specific group of people, not by everybody. You could have used the word spring, and it would have been like so much more neutral. But I'm not a fan of it being Easter, particularly.
You must be one of them wokesters.
No, I'm a Jew.
Just messing. No, and honestly, to answer that question, I did try to in the beginning. I did say that I wanted to keep it.
No, I know, but you can't take Easter and remove the religion from it. You see my point?
The candy and the Easter egg.
Yeah, I know, but just hear me out.
Okay.
If you were to look up the definition of Easter anywhere, it's going to be tied to a religion.
I never go to church, so I don't know.
Neither do I.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
My main criticism. That was my main criticism.
She's a more militant atheist than I am.
Yeah.
Words are important.
They are.
Especially,
Bad ones.
Well, it's not a bad word. I was just because you were saying Easter, then you're like, I don't want to make it religious. But as soon as you say Easter, it's religious.
Yeah, kind of like a numbskull. That's what she's saying.
Yeah, kind of.
Exactly.
It's all about the eggs.
Because all the eggs are laid in the spring anyway, right? Like all the birds lay their eggs in the spring. Okay. That was my only gripe. That was my main gripe.
Okay.
Other than that, it was adorable and fun and good for everybody, K through 12.
All right, Ross, what things could Ed have worked on for you in your perspective?
Okay. It doesn't help that I disagree with him on the opinion piece of it.
Because you went with the Cavs, correct?
Well, no, because putting all your baskets in the Guardians isn't fair when the Cavs are a pretty solid team. But let's focus on the writing and what's going on. So what I like about Ed on Twitter is I only have to deal with this pun in like a 10 to 20 second read. But when I have to deal with his puns over like a 1 minute to 2 minute read, it's just too much. I mean, I gave him the click. I got him the view. I got the point of it. I loved editorial. Got me to go in. Got me to read it. It's just, Ed's like crack. It's good in small doses, but too much of it will kill you.
I'm going to take that as a win right there.
That's a win. That's a win.
It's a W.
Crack is an upper, positive.
All right.
Thank you, Ross.
From my perspective, and again, I generally liked your article, but I think there's room for improvement. So I want to make a couple points. It was a very paper thin article. You didn't really have a lot of meat there.
I'm gonna
like throw in some specific examples about why you think the Cavs might not be there, or statistics even. That'd be cool.
No, he froze up.
Uh-oh. Is everyone else? All right. Well, this I like making fun of him when he can actually hear me. This is terrible. All right. How about we start, Sherry, with what you liked about Roger's article.
One second, Ed, if you can work shove it into it like towards the middle end of May, if you could get shove it into an article, you might do better. No, sure, or no, that doesn't work.
Shabbat. Shabbat.
Should I
Say
kick-
it right.
should I kick
Shabbat.
Ed and then have him join?
Yeah, kick him because he'll be back.
Oh, there.
All right.
Okay. Looks like it's happening. I didn't do that. All right, he's
So-
coming back in.
Oh, he's coming back in now?
There he is.
It's the negativity must have just something in the.
Something in the interwebs.
You know what the crazy thing is? That was everyone's favorite part of the show.
Fair enough. Mine, I didn't mind. It was a little scary.
All right. So I'm just saying, I think you could have added some specific
Meat.
examples, some statistics, to help make your arguments for you. That would have been really helpful. Saying that the Browns don't deserve your eggs because the Browns is the Browns. I mean, that's like the type of analysis that gets you on the dog chuck. We want to
That's what I was hoping for. Yeah.
we want you to make it like an actual legitimate argument that could get you on barking Browns or something. So I think you could do a little bit better there. That's all I'm saying. Also, and like you have like a full introduction paragraph, which I think was pretty interesting. And then in your second paragraph, you're like, all right, I'm going to grab your attention now. You're supposed to grab the attention in the first paragraph, so I don't know why you had that there. And you also said like you're probably going to sleep, so I'm going to try and grab your attention. Like you could have done without that. But
I was trying to stay awake myself, so it was.
Got it. Good job. All right. Well, enough with Ed. Let's move on to Roger. So Sherry, what did you like about Roger's article?
Well, there was a lot that I liked. My overall broad judgment for this, it was whimsical. It was fun. There was mad nerd cred to it. He used good statistics. He used good facts. I was very impressed, especially like MC Lawrence said, he was writing it with that one crooked finger. So we got to give him a shout out for, being able to type as well as he did. No, I mean, I enjoyed all the Star Trek references because, like, usually sports and Star Trek never come together. So I was pleasantly surprised to read that. And, maybe your parents were trying to hint to you when they gave you that action figure that was Dr. McCoy, maybe to inspire you to go toward that field in the future and not.
You want this guy operating on you? Is that what you want? You want me to become a doctor?
You could
chop off my own fingers.
Roger, we're in the 21st century. I need you to Google the Da Vinci robot.
Yeah. And surgery's a little different in the future.
It's way different, Roger.
They don't have to cut into you anymore. It's really great.
Yeah, they just put in poles with little scissors attached and whatnot.
All right. Ross,
All right.
what
Thank
did you enjoy about Roger's article?
Oh, what I liked about Rogers is it felt like he had a story to tell. It wasn't just about baseball. It was about, his way of watching baseball and why you should watch it this way and, why the way Roger thinks. And, he just talked about the Star Trek toy analogy. That was a pretty good way to rope you in and then comparing it to baseball. I like that a lot. And, I didn't like say, oh, I'm done reading this. I actually kept reading the whole thing and finished it, even though it's longer than most things we read online right now. But it did keep my attention and I read it and it was solid. But part of that is I could read it in Roger's tone and the way he talks and the way that he tweets on Twitter. And obviously he couldn't stick with like 4 long paragraphs. He had to have 20 paragraphs, but we'll get to that part when we dissect it a little bit.
That's why it was so engaging with things.
Hey, no, that's Bill. That's Bill who does an awesome job of editing it. That's Bill that does the editing and breaks it up even bigger than I do. That's Bill does an awesome job, man.
All right. I'm just going to go ahead and combine my thoughts here. So it really reminded me of when you do one of your homage ad reads. Like I'm laughing my ass off. I'm having such a great time, but then I get a really bad headache.
Yeah. I can see that.
So that's a compliment, all right.
Yeah.
You should write it.
There
Get a headache.
there was a lot of scrolling though, like a lot of scrolling. Like I actually wore out an entire phone and I had to get a new phone to finish the article, which is annoying because when you're reading an article, you can't like bookmark the middle of it. And then it took me like another 14 minutes to get to where I ended off. So it definitely reminded me of like how you tweet. Like it was just, here's a word, here's a word.
That's what I loved about it. It was authentically Roger.
It was very authentic. I do agree. It was like, man, I'm in Roger's head. This is scary and it's awesome. There was, for some reason, there was a Moneyball clip right in the middle of it because I think it was.
Wait, I have criticisms.
Oh,
but carry on. Carry on.
I guess I can let Jerry tell that one. But,
no. Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's just like you were saying. It's like when Roger like goes off on a ramble and he throws in a random movie. It came to life in print. I'm like, I mean, I get it. It's a sports movie. We could have done without it.
Hey, he put the clip in the article. That was top notch. That was built by Rock. That was top notch. Where I didn't know he could do that. Where he actually put the clip from the movie.
Well,
that just made it longer.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
Bill is pretty awesome.
So my concluding point here is if you want to read an article that's longer than the dog chug signing off, this is the one for you. This is the one you're going to love because it just went on and on and on. So great job, Roger. Thanks for that. I'm sorry I haven't read it until today, but I'm definitely excited to read the next one and then take some Tylenol after. Sherry, what were your criticisms?
Okay. I criticize because I love.
Oh, no. She's going to get mean.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get mean.
Here come the antacids.
I have my score written down already.
I take notes.
Wait, I got more than one page for Roger. I got like a page and a half.
Take the criticism notes.
Okay. One thing, if Roger's article had a baby with Ed's article, it would be a pretty good article. Okay, that aside. My favorite line from the article that didn't need to be said as much as it was, but I get it. He was trying to make a point. Baseball is hard.
I know.
Water is wet and the sky is blue.
The earth is flat too, right?
No, damn it, Ed. So that was a little redundant, less refreshing after reading it 4 or 5 times in a row. What else? Let me see. I already told you about your parents wanting you to be a doctor. I have more positive things than negative about your.
Let's hear it.
Okay. I love that you gave, well, we already know the Star Trek, but let me see. This is a direct quote from the article. We're not asking you to collide photons at light speed. That in its own right is a great sentence, but it needs a lot of context. But
it's like something smart people do. I don't know anything about it, so that's why I put it in there.
Scientist for reading it, like
right in Sweden, watching these things whip around in a room. I don't know what's going on out there.
I did like the schematic you used, or did Bill put that in? Sorry, that's my air fryer.
I'll come to you for technical support the next time I have a scientist line in an article.
It's a good idea.
No, but I liked the figure you included. That was really good. No, you just kept saying baseball is hard.
I repeated that a few times.
And my favorite line is like Ross's motto line is, but what do I know? Because I always say that too. And that I really love. Other than that, my overall umbrella criticism of Rogers, it was a fun read. It was whimsical and fun with a heavy dash of nerding and good facts, good figures.
Awesome, Sherry. Thank you for that. Ross?
I think I spoiled what I was going to complain about, but that was just like maybe it's knowing Roger and the way he tweets and the way he says things already. I just kept reading it in his tone. He kind of got off subject really quick instead of, elaborating more on his topic. I mean, fortunately, some of those things were entertaining, so it was worth the detour. But yeah, a lot of breaking up there. I understand like those websites, you need to fit your ads in and space things accordingly so that when you're interrupted reading it, you can keep scrolling and not forget where you left off. But maybe that kind of benefits Roger because he's all over the place. So when there's a video in between and like 5 different ads in between the 20 sentences, you could shuffle his paragraphs and probably still read the article. Maybe that's not a good thing. Maybe there's not enough structure there.
Hey, if you send me if you send me $5 a month, I'll get rid of the ads.
Nice. All right, so Ross, if you had to declare who is the better writer, but really we want to know who's the shittier writer, who are you declaring?
Well, better writer is a tough thing to say. You could write a haiku and it's so many words and syllables.
Yeah.
You could write a novel and it's good. You could be a writer in 2 great ways. I know Ed and Roger very well from what they do. Ed's probably got he's got a ton of great tweets. His use of puns is his thing, and he's utilizing that.
But all I got.
In a smaller article format, which makes sense. It's like before Twitter Blue, you had to go on a website to write 5 sentences. Now that's what he's doing, even though Twitter Blue exists. That's not a roast. But for the topic and what we're dealing with here and creativity reasons for this article matchup, I'm going with Roger on this one.
Wow. No. So you're saying he's the shittier writer, right?
Oh, not shittier, the better. I'm going with Roger.
Okay, so Ross is calling Ed the shittier writer. Got it.
I wanted you to say it.
Fine, I have no problem with that. I'm going to go next. I just got to say, I liked both articles very, very much. I'm glad I read them. Thank you guys for writing. But with that pretext out of the way, look, I'm a busy guy. I got kids. I want the shorter article. Ed, I think you are the better writer, which means Roger's the shittier writer.
Ooh,
now
all right.
Judge Sherry.
Okay, I'm using my scale. So, Ed, I love you very much, and you are a good friend. I gave you a 6 out of 10.
That's a Baker Mayfield. No.
I gave you a Baker Mayfield.
Give me Jeff Garcia. Give me Jeff Garcia.
This is the reverse scale.
Yeah, reverse scale.
Give me a 5 instead. I'd feel better with a 5.
You get a 7 before you get a 5.
Subtle brutally.
True. You should have met my grandma. Anyway.
Shout out to Sherry's grandma.
She's long gone, my friend.
In heaven. She's watching.
She's in deep space.
Okay. Where Roger's article took us.
Yeah. Roger gets a 4 because all of his rambling to me was very entertaining. It was a smidge long, and you could have done without the Moneyball reference. But I really enjoyed all the Star Trek plus Star Trek equals baseball in October, so that was pretty great.
Wow.
So 4 isn't bad.
For the audience, your scale is, you got to define your
0 being the best, 10 being the worst.
So that would mean
Ed got a 7. I got a 4.
No, Ed got a 6, but he doesn't want to be.
This reminds me of the presidential debates. I'm Trump and this is CNN. Of course, you're going to say Biden won. That's all this is right here. So, my pollster said I won. It's great. Roger, you're a great writer. Sherry, Ross, thanks for judging. I know where this is going. I knew
you picked Ed. Didn't you pick Ed? I got a 4.
No, I picked you.
Oh, I thought 10 was the best.
She picked me.
No, 10 is bad. 0 is the best.
Andy's Wolf Blitzer. I knew how this was going. I knew.
Two things. Mine started off based on a tweet to Ed. My line about the 4-seam fastball.
They did.
Grabbing lunch at the diner in the middle of the plate called the Wheelhouse, which I thought was a great baseball line, and it wasn't appreciated. I don't think it got the love it deserved. But it started off as a tweet, and I sent Bill word salad, and yeah, he does you have the ads in it, of course, but Bill really takes it and really shapes it into like something more than what the first time I saw my very first one, it just blew me away. If I just sent it, it'd be one long paragraph, man.
Would you call him your
With
Ed?
spaces, with plenty of spaces.
Ross, go ahead with that, Ross. I know where you're going.
Do it.
Would you call him your
I have
Ed?
somebody doing a lot of work on the other end once I hand it in.
So what I'm
Good
hearing
fun
is
there, Ross. Nice
we're
pun.
obviously we're not going to do this bit again for a while because
Thank
it's going
God.
to take a little break. But when we do it again, we'll have to have Bill work on Ed's article so that it's fair comparison.
True. That is true.
He's a teacher too. He's got that shit down.
What, you want my rough draft?
No. We'll both get the polished published version. We'll just we'll see if Bill's out there.
We got to let Bill edit.
Work.
Uh,
And the good news, Bill, is his articles are short, so it'll only take you like 3 minutes.
Yeah, yeah, maybe 2.5.
you
With
can do it
the,
during
with,
the
I
bathroom break.
with the new baseball pitch clock, I actually have a writing clock, so it makes it.
Man, I was at 800 words. I said, okay, I'm going to wrap it up. And I looked up, I was at 1505.
Damn.
Yeah.
We'll do Chat GPT making an article versus.
I haven't written one under 1,400
Can
words.
we please do that, Ross? Can we please do that?
Of course we can. And Ed, it sounds like if you just put a Star Trek reference in your next article,
It
you'll
sounds that way. It really
Maybe-
does.
Star Trek
Maybe a couple other paragraphs would be nice. Oh, he's giving me squinty eyes. Oh, I hit a nerve.
I'm gonna need some Moses love because of this.
He's around here somewhere. Uh-oh.
Well, I'm
Ross,
sure
if you have your cat around here somewhere, I'm gonna need some love.
Okay, I got default.
He's
I got
wandering
default.
somewhere.
Oh, chug dog.
That'll
Sorry,
work.
it's not Moses, but
And congratulations to Roger. You beat me, who, like I said, I love to talk. Writing is one of those things where, it takes away from my talking. So that's why I like to keep it.
it is amazing when I ask you a question, it takes you 57 minutes to give me an answer. But when you write an article, you write like 4 words.
Because I can see right now I can see myself talking, and I love me some me. So I love this right now. I'm talking to myself, and I have no problem with it. I love it.
All right. Well, on that note, I think we're out of material here. So this has been a really fun Dog Chug. Thank you, audience, for stopping in and checking us out. Go Cavs on Saturday. Hope we're all rooting hard for them.
woo!
Chuck, your Knicks are going down. Sorry, buddy.
Sorry. Yeah.
With that said, congratulations to Roger for being the better writer. Ed, right now you're the shittier writer, but I see an upward trajectory for you.
Ed school refined me. There's some kind of writing editor school or something I can go to. Probably.
That's exactly right. So having said that, Sherry, thank you so much for coming on and joining us.
Anytime.
Roger and Ross,
Thank you, Sherry.
thank you for being the best co-host a guy could ask for. I love you all.
We're just trying to grow Dog Chug's brand, Andy, by getting out there more. How about that?
Sounds
Right.
good. Let's do it. All right. I almost ended it normally, but we'll get him next time.